Hello everyone. Welcome to another Kong stream. I'm back from vacation. And I am just quickly going to get my channel set up here for Summit der Langrisser finals. Both players are pretty much ready. Yeah, I heard you the first time, Kong. So yeah, this is going to be Summit Finals. I'll just let them know that I'm ready to stream, and then they will commence with the starting of the battle, and we can actually talk about what this fight is all about. Be back in a sec. Alright, so the first order of business is to find Raven on my friends list. Alright, there he is. They haven't quite started yet. So, back to introductory materials. This is the Summit der Langrisser Season 12 Grand Finals. And they're just about to start. Grand Finals between ProudRaven and WindSeeker. Now, we saw WindSeeker on the stream fighting Moondoggy about 2 weeks ago, and then I went on vacation, and I haven't really done anything with Langrisser since then. So if most of my commentary involves swimming or lounging by the pool, we'll somehow make it relevant to Lang. Fortunately, we do have a water map here, so I'll be right in home turf. Rice Crew, welcome to the stream. Alright, first things that we have to notice. ProudRaven player 1, and as I mentioned, we are on this Cape of Sorrow map. And Raven getting out a first pick of Z2 against WindSeeker, who's going down a Rosen plus tank line from the looks of things. The only tank WindSeeker has left, though, is going to be Freya, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Freya come out here now. Yeah, ProudRaven going with that first ban AO. And also taking out 2 tanks, attempting to force WindSeeker onto a tank pick. My suspicion is that someone like this Wandering Duelist is probably fixed immune, so not really scared of attacking into that Freya. ProudRaven has always run a really interesting box. I love to see this. So we've got Wandering Duelist, of course. We've also got Alicia still in here. And we even have Werner Dime. That's maybe the most interesting unit choice of his. I don't know if I've really seen ProudRaven running Werner Dime that much. But he's also got Tiaris, who you don't see too often, although she is really good in like assassin enablement boxes, so it's certainly possible that Raven was expecting to come into this, expecting to be fighting against WindSeeker behind some tanks. Which Raven has certainly made possible with this ban line. So there's WindSeeker's Freya for sure. And now we get to see who ProudRaven is going to pick to go along with this IBC. Not the best map for Lost. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised to see like Alicia come out here soon. Gintoki also a good pick, although Freya can be scary for him. He sometimes counter-kills himself attacking into Freyas. Okay, and we're going to get a Polyol on ProudRaven's side, which will help enable his mobility. Into a Rosen Seal, Polyol is slightly less scary, just because the Rosen can heal off some of that initial splash damage. She also prevents the stuns. Thanks for the follow, Zigrum. Welcome to the channel. I would not be surprised at all to see Wandering Duelist come out here. I think she's actually a really strong pick for ProudRaven's side so far. The Azusa, a good pick on WindSeeker's side. A good rangy DPS. On pretty much all of our past streams, we have basically been rooting for the less common characters to come out, so having someone like ProudRaven in the Summit Finals is very nice for us, because we do have the potential to see that Wandering Duelist come out in the finals of the tournament. If anyone can make her shine, it's going to be Raven. WindSeeker pretty much just has to stick to his game plan, see how this first game goes, and then see if he wants to change anything up. These Freyas can also sometimes be problematic for Z2 as well, so... I mean, ProudRaven left her up intentionally. So we'll see what his Z2 is able to do here. Okay, interesting. So he's going with a Leon rather than the Wandering Duelist. From a meta standpoint, that's probably not too shocking. Leon is definitely scary, definitely has the potential to make a big explosion. And we're going to have Leon versus Leon. So for his side, WindSeeker does have the Rosen and Freya, but he's also left himself with 3 really solid DPS as well. These DPS can all get around on this map fairly well. They'll all have buffs as well. For his side, ProudRaven is basically pure DPS, so this is 5 DPS. A couple of these DPS are going to double as enablers, basically. So, I mean, with Polyol charging, Zerda can teleport into the action at will. She'll be able to stay in relative safety. Yeah, Zigrum, I wouldn't be really expecting to see Leon kind of single target into this Freya. Probably more of an AoE Leon, I guess, although Rosenseal kind of stymies that a little bit. But Leon does a lot of damage, so we'll see. Again, I'd be shocked if ProudRaven took these DPS, the Zerda, the Gintoki, and the Leon, expecting them to have trouble against this Freya after literally second banning all the other tanks, knowing that WindSeeker is going to pick Freya. ProudRaven basically selected Freya for WindSeeker. So if he doesn't have a plan for her, that would really surprise me, especially here in the finals. So let's take a look at what we've got. We do have the guard skill and phalanx on this Polyol. So she is going to be attempting to tank the Leon. Okay, we have unicorns on the IBC. Okay, I was wrong. It's not an AoE. It is going to be Blue Dragon Strike on Freya. So potentially, yeah, maybe you're right, Zigrum. Maybe suiciding into that Freya. Won't get a scramble, but if Freya's dead, she's dead, I guess. And yeah, Zerda will have her way in at some point. We've got the 3C on Rosenseal, which is a nice skill choice up against Leon. We have a couple guard skills on this Freya. And Redeemers. knowing that with Rosenseal it will be more difficult to give her a debuff to turn that revive off. WindSeeker brought AoE on his own Leon. So we're seeing a fairly typical IBC setup play right here on turn 1, getting the Polyols move, getting them buffed up a little bit. Missed Zerida with mass attack, but I guess she's probably not going to need it. Honestly, for this battle, the onus is pretty much on ProudRaven to get in there and bust that Freya. If he doesn't do that, WindSeeker has a few DPS. I say that. I suppose if WindSeeker tries to initiate a trade game, then ProudRaven can just out-trade him, so WindSeeker kind of sits back with his tank and healer here, and lets ProudRaven attempt to come in, and if Raven is not able to bust him, then he can start capturing ProudRaven's units. I don't think WindSeeker wants to be the one who runs in and tries to initiate trading. Certainly not with a tank and a healer. He may, you know, tank push into the middle until he can start taking out units from within guard, assuming he still has a tank by then. So we will see how this opening positioning game plays out. Raven dipping into the backup time just a little bit, not a concerning amount yet, still over 200 seconds. Alright, so the Polyel's not going to bother with guard yet, she's just going to rush in. That is hitting no one, but what it does do is it provides some of these nice mobility tiles. Pretty sure Gintoki can get in now if he wants. Oh, we're going with Zerida first, though. Let's see if the Zerida kills herself. Yes. She has a revive. Freya also has a revive. But that does pop Freya's first life, which is pretty big for Raven. Polyel's guard is not up yet, though, and Zerida's first life was taken by Freya here, so WindSeeker has 2 DPS left who can just come in and pop that Zerida if they want to. Sure enough, Zerida gets popped there. Leon running back, that basically provides a couple tiles here where if Gintoki does want to come in and finish off Freya's second life, he's going to take a little bit of tile damage. Trading Z2 for Freya's first life is interesting. Gintoki, you're going to hang back for now. Raven will have turn priority at the start of the next turn, so depending on what this Gren Shield does. Remember, Polyol doesn't have her other AoE skill right now. So she just rushed in. It's possible that Raven will... pop her guard early next turn to make room for the rest of his team to come in. But Gintoki has Air Slash, so maybe if he can reach with Ice Cream and the Poly Tiles to kill Freya's second life from directly adjacent to this Poly, he'll be passively guarded at least. Passively guarded until this Gren Shield drops the Gren Shield beside Poly. Gren's just going to go ahead and take that first life from Poly right away on this turn, gets her shield up, gets that faction buff up, but it also doesn't waste her shield. So, not that she's going to need to worry about the shield to shut down Poly's guard now, because Poly is, well, passively not guarding from being beside her, but also almost dead. Okay, this Leon is about to get spiked. But let's see what happens. Oh, he does barely survive. Okay, so here comes some 3C AoE. The displacement doesn't matter as much here, but he does want to splash out a bunch of AoE damage. So yeah, the Rosen making that slightly less effective. She can also pop her 3C to start getting some more healing out. It's actually her only AoE healing option. It looks like he's not going to worry about healing quite yet, because he can just continue killing off Raven's units. Hey, Absol, thank you for the sub, by the way. Continuing for your 4th month. Nice. That's like a 1 Kong Summit der Langrisser finals match per month. Cobra, welcome to the chat. So, Raven is behind in units. He's got, he's got a buffed up Gintoki, which is fine. He's also got Polyol, whose first life is gone and doesn't have any AoE left, so she's pretty much just there to soak one more hit. The Gintoki is double infantry, so he's also terrified of this Leon. And, I mean, IBC can do her IBC thing as well. Trying to chip through this Azusa, though. Like, you've basically got 4.5 units to kill here. Let's see. Gintoki, what is your plan? Possible range kill on this Gren Shield, and then being in guard of Polyol so that the Leon can't just erase him. So she'll passively guard him now. If Leon wants to single target, he has to go through her. Although Leon could just walk through and AoE them both as well. Moondoggy, welcome to the chat. It looks like that is exactly his plan. Blast the big AoE here. Polyol's death gives Gintoki a little bit of healing there. And the act again, so I mean, he can... I don't know if he's gonna kill Leon. But all we have left waiting behind the ranks is IBC. Welcome to the chat, Zeno. Oh, Gintoki's going to run away to live another day. And I don't think IBC can reach anything. She, in fact, cannot. Everything's quite far away. So if Gintoki's able to survive long enough to wear these debuffs off, it's basically 2 DPS versus 2 DPS, but WindSeeker does have the advantage of having this Rosen still up. Leon's skills are down for the count, but Azusa is scary. And her shield hasn't been popped yet. So WindSeeker with the opportunity to open the proceedings here. She doesn't have an act again or anything, so she can't reach. No one can really reach. WindSeeker basically just going to have to decide where to plop his units so that ProudRaven can't get an advantageous opening. Moving Rosen first is an excellent idea, of course, because if ProudRaven does decide to bring any units closer up into range, WindSeeker still has 2 strong DPS who can take care of that. Now I wonder... Yeah, no, Raven can't do anything with IBC's buffs now either, because he only has 2 units. So he's not going to be able to put that buff back on Gintoki. Really, the answer for Raven is going to be using this IBC to kill Leon. Once Leon's down, if this Gintoki can stall long enough to get back up into good shape, maybe he carries? Alright, Leon gets the breeze, so he's going to hit whoever he wants. His skills are still down. He's out of attack buff, so it would just be a regular attack, but a regular attack from this Leon is all it's going to take to kill a double infantry Gintoki. ProudRaven will have turn priority next turn, so if he doesn't want to go in right now, to kill that Leon, and expose himself to Azusa counterkill, he could wait till the start of next turn, but it looks like he's going to go for it. This should plop a little bit of healing onto the Gintoki as well. Gin's skills are also back up. So if Azusa gets this kill, Gintoki will act again. I mean, if Azusa gets this kill, of course she gets this kill. Rebuffs Gin. So this costs him turn priority, but it gives him a chance to pop the Azusa shield, I guess. It's gross that they added a sound effect of him slurping the ice cream. Like, what we need to hear is slurping noises. Oh wow, that That little pre-battle AoE absolutely crushed Azusa. I was not expecting it to do that much damage. So we have definitely Gintoki carrying here. Straw, thank you for re-upping the Prime sub. 4 months for you as well, joining Absol on the 4-month train. And with that, ProudRaven comes from what looked like behind to take game 1 from WindSeeker. Now, bear in mind, Summit der Langrisser finals are best of 5, so the players will have to get 3 wins in order to take the championship. There's a lot of money on the line, so we want to make sure that the victor really has to prove their dominance over the other. So ProudRaven up 1 game to nothing. Needs 2 more wins to take the prize money, $300. Thanks to many generous donations to the Summit der Langrisser. Okay, so Raven is going to make a slight adjustment to his box, bringing up his own Azusa and dropping Kyra. WindSeeker sticking with his the box that we saw in game 1, but WindSeeker is going to be player 1 this time, so that may change his pick and ban strategy a little bit. First ban's the AO, and he is going to continue with a Rosen and tank line. ProudRaven sticking with the strategy of banning LB and Hilda, so he knows what it costs him to take out that Freya, but WindSeeker might be shaking in his boots a little bit, knowing now that Raven can kill that Freya with enough left in the tank to take out the rest of his units. That said, unless WindSeeker wants to play totally tankless here, I don't see that he really has a choice but to go with Freya and hope things turn out a little bit differently this time. Raven going with first pick Grenshiel here. And an early ban Gintoki now. WindSeeker does not want to have to deal with that Gintoki. ProudRaven getting Tiaras now as well. Interesting. And banning the Leon. So we're going to get a different match than what we got in game 1. I think now is an appropriate time, since we have Straw in the chat, and this is the finals, to thank you, Straw, for putting all that hard work and effort into organizing this tournament again this season. So much wrangling and corralling different players, creating channels. Your work is definitely appreciated by everyone in the community here. And thanks to the other streamers as well, who picked up games and posted reviews throughout the season. I know I only streamed a few of these matches this season because I was doing a lot of vacation-related activities, let's say. But I'm here when it counts. The big final match. Yeah, Soda, you'd like to see Alicia get some game time. I'd like to see Alicia, but I really want to see duels. I mean, look at this. She's right there in the middle of Raven's avatar. I think duels is a good pick. I'd like to make it out of round 1 in the actual Apex playoffs. But in my group, I got matched up against the seeded player from the top 16, so that's going to be fun. It's always fun every season watching a bunch of players get forfeits while I get actual strong opponents. Okay, so ProudRaven making good use of that backup box pick, bringing Azusa up from the backup box, and then immediately deploying her. Well, Cobra, one hint I would give you is not to really think of it as committing to Apex. In order to play Apex, you don't necessarily need to go all the way or go far up the ladder in Apex. The most important part is really just getting a few games in, certainly getting your placements done so you can start collecting weekly rewards. And then if you rank up, great. If not, at least you're getting some loot for it. Lucretia is a good pick here. A nice long-range threat against ProudRaven, who, again, is not going to have a tank, not going to have anyone who can guard against this Lucretia. So Raven's strategy is really going to be get in first on WindSeeker and start killing stuff before WindSeeker can start killing him. With the D-Heart boosted by Tiaras, though, he is certainly able to do that. Actually, all of these units boosted by Tiaras. And an Archon pick. Archon doesn't have a buffer here. There's not any natural water on this stage. Probably doesn't matter. We might see mass attack on this Lucretia, or maybe it just won't matter. Raven will have some pullable units for sure. But pretty much all of Raven's units basically outrange WindSeeker's team with Tiaras. We are going to get to see Wandering Duelist in action. And the players will now decide on their troops, decide on their skills, decide on their positioning. Zeus is Strategic Masters, right? So she'll get a buff from Grenshiel. D-Heart could buff himself and duels. I don't know if I'd like to see the faction buff on D-Heart there just for that, though. But we shall see. He could just bring 2C. Let's look at WindSeeker's team first. Going with State Guards on Archon. He's taking the Guard Ignore on Lostum, I guess just in case Grenshiel brings her Guard skill. And we have Empire Faction buff on Rosenseal just for Lucretia. Even though Lucretia has mass attack. Pretty sure Archon is not Empire. Grenshiel did not bring Guard, so Lostum doesn't need his Guard Ignore. So, some interesting choices on WindSeeker's side. I mean, Riposte was a little bit of a gamble, just in case he wanted to get around Grenshiel Guard. I would have been shocked if ProudRaven with this team comp brought Guard on Grenshiel, so Air Slash would have been better there. I mean, I say this is just for Lucretia, but I guess it's for herself, too. For what that's worth. So let's see. It looks like WindSeeker is definitely in no rush to move up. He's basically just getting his little tank cluster set up right at the starting line. So let's see how ProudRaven wants to set up his units as well. Duel's just ending her turn here in the front line. Poison Turtle as well, by the way. Thank you for the follow. I missed your follow, Seal Guardian, popping up on the screen. I think it was, it coincided with Absol or Straw's subs. But I didn't overlook you completely. I see you there. Yeah, Moondoggy is a legit account reviewer for sure, Cobra. He's even gone on stream and logged into people's accounts and basically walked through all their units and looked at their gear and builds and stuff. Can be very helpful, especially for someone starting out. Okay, Raven taking some time here. Trying to decide, I think he's trying to decide if he wants to set up to launch an assault here on turn 1. Instead, goes ahead and moves Grenshiel back, but she does catch a breeze there, which is helpful. WindSeeker staying back for now. His Lostum is a threat in terms of zoning. Or just in terms of preventing ProudRaven from setting up his launch pad a little bit closer to WindSeeker's team. But it looks like ProudRaven may also be debating a D-Heart springboard here. He saved his Tiaris and his D-Heart for last. No need for her to blow her 3C yet. And the Lostum's really just moving up out of... Out of what? Did D-Heart just catch a breeze there too? He did. So D-Heart and Grenshiel are both breezed. Nice arrangement for ProudRaven. There's Tiny Applesauce, by the way. I don't know if everyone noticed that, but Lostum's new skin is in the game. And it has an actual Doberman. Much like the one that is just beside my face on my stream overlay. So, of course, I went all in for the skin on Lostum today. And I got my tiny little Doberman skin on Lostum. I put Lostum as my avatar character. Actually, it's the first time since Transcender came out that I took Transcender off my avatar. And it's all for the sauce. So WindSeeker is really hanging back and really trying to stay away from ProudRaven, at least wear these breezes off. Oh, ProudRaven gets a breeze on this Wandering Duelist as well. Not making it easy for WindSeeker to move up at all. So yeah, that's the thing. With WindSeeker has a couple DPS here who would really like to get a little toehold. A little toehold out close enough in front that they can kind of rush in and kill someone. Raven does have 4 strong DPS though, so if WindSeeker wants to come in and start initiating a trade down, Raven can out-trade him. So WindSeeker pretty much needs the extra killability, if you want to call it that, by having a revive tank and a revive Lucretia in the action as well. So he pretty much needs either Raven to rush in, again, kind of like game 1. Let Raven rush in and start picking off his units, or slowly creep in close enough once these breezes wear off that he can start using units like Lucretia to kill someone from range from safety. Yeah, Duels is strong, and we're watching Premier Duels enjoyer here, so if anyone's going to show us how good she is, it's going to be ProudRaven. And by the way, potential welcome also to ProudRaven's wife watching from the stands. Don't know if she's actually here watching, but I do know Raven said earlier that his wife was considering popping on and watching this match. So, if you're there, there's about another 60 or so players here cheering Raven on. It's really interesting to see both these players really kind of hugging the fog on opposite corners of the map. Goes to show that the ability to get in and have that one square of advantage is so important in this matchup. If anything, Raven might be a little frustrated that he got all those helpful breezes out of the way early in the match, when he couldn't really use them to execute. Of course, we still have Tiaras 3C upper sleeve, which is only going to get used once in this match. So the timing of it is fairly important. He wants to make sure that his characters are able to get in with follow-up after he uses that. WindSeeker not providing any openings for Raven's Gren Shield to drop the Gren Shield on her and turn off her guard. So he may be hoping to kind of do what he did in game 1, which is literally just crash his units into the Freya and take her off the field altogether. It's a viable strategy. Okay, WindSeeker's Lucretia gets a breeze this time. Again, not going to help too much. Vance is way up at the top of the map, so he's not going to be able to pull her too far forward. She would want to be able to use her breeze to get in far enough to blast someone, and then get pulled back to safety. Yeah, let's take a look at that Freya, Moondoggy. Around 950 on both defensive stats, almost 18,000 HP. Welcome back, Cobra. Miracle's going up now. WindSeeker probably anticipating an imminent advance. So with the +1 mobility there, D-Heart can reach Rosen. That's assuming ProudRaven pops that soon. No, I wouldn't say these two are playing Turtle. WindSeeker's playing tank push and just not pushing much right now out of necessity. ProudRaven is playing all DPS, really. He's just staying back. True Turtle would be 1 or 2 tanks, 1 or 2 healers. And the strategy would literally be just to cluster up and make your team kind of unkillable. So the opponent basically tries to kill your units and fails, and you heal back up. Okay, so here goes Tiaris's 3C. Sometime in the next turn or so, ProudRaven is planning on launching an attack with all of these DPS. Wants to do it before this buff wears off. Ozma, welcome. We're kind of at the start of the second fight. So ProudRaven is up 1 game to nothing. It's a best of 5, so he still needs to win 2 more matches, and WindSeeker just needs to win 3 matches. So it's not an insurmountable lead. And yeah, even though we're on turn 4 here, both players have really just been creeping forward, getting themselves into position, and getting ready for an assault. Yeah, you'll want to go back and watch the VOD of the first game. It was fairly interesting. Okay, so here goes D-Heart. He's getting launched. Honestly, with the Tiaris buff, this D-Heart probably should kill the Rosen Seal even through Shrine Maidens. And that is, in fact, what happens. He's not going to stun anyone because they're all already immune, so taking terrain for extra defensive capability is smart here. D-Heart with that nice little crystal healing boost. Wonder where that came from. Should be an easy kill for Archon anyway, so that was a straight trade. of ProudRaven's D-Heart for WindSeeker's Rosenseal. A good trade. Ultimately, Raven still has 3 more strong DPS. And what that takes away from WindSeeker is eventually when those stacks get worn down, he'll be debuffable again. Doesn't matter too much. ProudRaven doesn't really have units that rely on debuffing, but it does take away the healer. So it makes it easier to start slowly chipping through WindSeeker's units if necessary. Side note, the other thing that does for Raven is it gives WindSeeker 1 fewer unit to surround Freya, so it makes it a little bit easier for ProudRaven to get the Gren Shield down on the tank. Or not so much easier for Raven, but more difficult for WindSeeker to continue advancing while keeping this Freya surrounded. Okay, tops up the breeze on Lucretia again. Assuming she's on Scepters, I think she should be able to hit this Tiaras, but WindSeeker has turn priority. Maybe he'll be able to do something with that Lucretia and then pull her back to safety with the Golem. It's Firebrands as well, so... Oh, but Duelist has a revive too, doesn't she? This might be revive bait. Freya putting up her other guard right now. Using the fog to her advantage to keep her safe for 1 more turn from the Gren Shield, although Gren Shield's way back here, so that's not really happening this turn. Okay, she does move in and catch another breeze, though. Doesn't bring her close enough to make the shield useful, but things are starting to get tight here now. Archon also catches a breeze, but his skill is down. Can't refresh it this turn with Tidal Surge. Oh, we got the hat buff. Alright, who's lost him killing here? He can stun Azusa to nullify her shield. Yep, and that's exactly what WindSeeker goes for, so Azusa is out of the action. And this Lostum is going to bring himself back all the way into guard range. Nice move by WindSeeker there. Let's see what Duels is going to do. First, she's going to take a shitload of damage from this Freya, but unlike Leon in Game 1, Duels is able to kill Freya's first life without killing herself. So she's still okay. I mean, she's hurt, but she still has her revive, and she splashed a shitload of damage on the rest of WindSeeker's team. With Rosenseal gone, that's going to be something that is tricky for WindSeeker to deal with. So next time Freya dies, she's dead. We still have a revive on the Archon. We still have a revive on the Lucretia. No, if Azusa is stunned, her shield does not count. very similar to how if Himiko is stunned, her pre-battle teleport doesn't happen. So you can actually kill Himiko without her getting away if you stunned her first with Lost Him or with Shield Bash or something like that. Same principle. I mean, this buff's kind of a nothing burger because it goes away when Gren uses her Act Again or whatever. Or actually, does it? Does her Act Again preserve buffs? It must. All the modern ones do. So this is going to be the first life off duels. Ooh, and the Firebrand's not quite enough to take away her second life. So she's still hanging in there with 30% HP and significantly debuffed right now. Raven may want to just use duels to take out Freya's next life, knowing that this duels is pretty toast regardless. Basically, no matter what ProudRaven does, this duels is going down, so get something out of her before she dies. Guards up, so Freya's really the only person she can actually hurt. Both players now below 100 seconds of backup time. We're on turn 7. Fog's closing in. Archon with access to his pull again. So Archon could reach Tiaras the way things stand here now. Okay, and just as we thought, let's see if she actually survives long enough to take this Freya out. She does. Freya dies, and Duels is down. Now, WindSeeker, if he wants... I think both of these units... Okay, yeah, he's gonna go with Archon. Archon actually in okay shape. He gets a little bit of healing there. He's gonna pull Tiaras. He still has his revive as well, remember. Yeah, he's just gonna kill Tiaras. That's fine. ProudRaven only has 1 DPS left. Like, with 1 Gren Shield, trying to kill all these units. I don't think it's happening. So the Lost Him goes down. And I mean, I guess this Archon's out of attack skills now again for a couple turns. But he's still pretty juicy. And Grenshiel has to deal with this mage with archer troops. Who has a revive. ProudRaven staying in, though. He's either considering his options for the next game, or he wants to see if his Grenshiel can do something. I'll often do that in games where I'm in a losing situation, but I'm like, wait a minute, I have this one unit, might as well use it as a quick test opportunity. Let's see what this can do in this situation. I'm sure ProudRaven has tested his units' matchups much more thoroughly than I have. He doesn't need TSL to do that. Okay, pulsing the Archon, that's a good move. That brings him one turn closer to getting his skills back. Again, not that I think WindSeeker is really going to need those skills to close things out against ProudRaven. But what can Raven really do? We've got a revive on this Lucretia, we've got a revive on this Archon, so all they have to do is double team her. Right? Archon just smacks her. Lucretia just moves one and smacks her. Vance smacks her. She should be dead here. I mean, yeah, I guess we can do things this way too. Yeah, doesn't matter. Okay, so 1-1. This is going to be an interesting matchup, my friends. These players are fairly close here. So 1-1 in a best of 5. Each player still needs to win 2 more matches to go home with the big prize. Second place is $150. But the jump to first is another $150, so definitely worth scrapping it out for. ProudRaven gets player 1 here for game 3 on Plains of Strife. Now let's see if we're going to have any changes from the backup boxes. Alright, Raven dropping that Azusa, who he brought up last game, and bringing up Oboro. WindSeeker brings up Elwyn in exchange for Lucretia. ProudRaven still with that first ban AO, probably hoping WindSeeker is going to continue with the Rosen and then Freya line. And Raven goes back to the first pick Z2 like he did in game 1. WindSeeker doesn't want to face either of these early picks from ProudRaven in game 2, the Grenshiel and the Tiaris. But that gives Raven the opportunity to second pick the character he just brought up from the backup box. One thing about Raven that's interesting is when he brings a character up from the backup box, it's because he intends to use them. We saw Azusa for sure last game, and now we're seeing Oboro for sure this game. D-Heart again. Now remember, D-Heart is a faction buffer for Oboro, so that can get ProudRaven's Oboro up 1 turn sooner. Yeah, Cruciferous, that would be... Yeah, I don't know, not necessarily unexpected, but... It would be kind of sad if it made it look like turn order or player 1 was the thing that made the difference between first and second place in the tournament. It's definitely an advantage. Particularly for ProudRaven, where he tends to play all DPS teams. Being P1 is pretty good for a box like that. WindSeeker maybe doesn't mind player 2 as much, just because he's always getting tank and Rosen, so he can be a little bit more reactive. Getting Azusa again, and Leon. So we're seeing WindSeeker lining up with another team like he did in Game 1. Although... he was player 2 in that game as well, and that was the game he lost, so maybe this is not necessarily the comp that he wants. Although ProudRaven is playing a completely different comp. He had Polyol and Gintoki in Game 1. He's not going to have them this time. So we are going to see him with a potentially buffed Oboro and duels. The point of bringing this Elwyn up may have been to passive block duels. You know, knowing that she's going to be something that he has to deal with. Having Azusa, Leon, and Elwyn, it does kind of help to keep ProudRaven at bay, especially since he doesn't have any mobility enablers like IBC or Polyol out right now. I mean, if the Elwyn is fixed immune, then D-Heart can't kill him in one action. Can you fixed immune yourself against her little chains pops, or is that AoE damage? Yeah, Z2 AoE can also clean him up. Leon AoE, does that count as fixed damage? So yeah, we got a faction buffing D-Heart, not really surprising given the Oboro pick. So he's going to be ready in 3 turns. Everything else here looking pretty normal. We've got the flimsy Mech Knights on this Leon again with the 3C, so he's going to probably be attempting to crash into this Freya once again. He knows it's suicide. Alright, and this Leon, WindSeeker's Leon, is on 3C this time instead of the AoE. So we have Empire buff on Rosen, this time for Elwyn and Leon. And herself, obviously. Okay, so WindSeeker moving the Freya up a little bit more aggressively. This is hoping to get his units more into range, closer up to ProudRaven's units that he can actually start to spring attacks with these rangy DPS. Part of that is trying to get closer to Oboro to get in against him before he can transform and become powerful as well. Don't really want to hang back and hug Fog and basically give your opponent a free Oboro. This does mean that we're going to see ProudRaven go ahead and jump in with this Leon, so exactly like what we saw in Game 1. Oh, this time the Leon barely hangs on. Oh, no, he doesn't. He got spiked by that last fixed. Didn't even take her first life. Oh, that hurts. He was hoping he was going to barely hang on long enough to be able to do his little twirly swirly, but alas, he's dead, and Freya and her Redeemers are still alive. Which means WindSeeker's 3 DPS really only have a few DPS of their own to kill. Yeah, I mean, ProudRaven knew what he was getting into there, Cruciferous, because he crashed his Leon into WindSeeker's Freya in Game 1 as well. And there was a similar result. The Leon just outright died in battle, not even from post-battle fixed. But he got something for it. In Game 1, he at least got something. He took Freya's first life. Now this Freya can slowly regenerate. Those Redeemers' extra life is still there. So ProudRaven is going to have to hack her down in another way here now. Oh, is that how it went, Turtle? I guess that makes a bit more sense. This is interesting. We do have an unguarded Elwyn here. So sure enough, there's that post-battle AoE, able to clean up both Elwyn's lives. ProudRaven moving aggressively on the trade front. He knows if WindSeeker wants to run back and take out this Zerida with one of his DPS, it gives Oboro a little bit more time, a little bit more space. Oh, someone just joined Concord with a Discord account that was just created today. To me, that says, I'm Tamamayu. Which is another way of saying, preemptively ban me. So sure enough, the Azusa moves up and takes the first Zerida life. Second Zerida life can go to Leon. Yeah, Leon should definitely just regular attack into this Zerida. Oh yeah, Moondoggy, don't worry, this is like the third time he's attempted this. On my server, at least. So Zerida did what she was meant to do, though. Killed both Elwyn lives, and backed off these DPS a little bit from Oboro. Oboro is ready to transform next turn. Raven also has turn priority. The question is, if, like in Game 1, ProudRaven's Oboro is going to be enough to carry the rest of this game on his back, kind of like Gin did in Game 1. Seems less likely for Oboro to be able to do that than Gintoki. Yeah, the Gintoki ate Azusa for breakfast. The Oboro not really going to be able to do the same thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't think D-Heart is going to outright assassinate Azusa. He could pop the shield and then hope for a follow-up kill. But all she has to do is hit something to get her shield back, like Straw says. Probably the D-Heart, if he's the one who runs in to pop her shield. Well, it looks like he's going to go for it regardless. Again, I really don't see this actually full-on killing her. He's not going to be able to stun anything afterwards because they're all Rosened. Very far from a kill. I guess what that does do is it forces Azusa to act now. So she just pops D-Heart with Soft and gets her shield back, right? Unless he doesn't do that for some reason. Like, maybe Raven's hope there is that, oh, okay, that something like this happens. Although if this kills the Oboro, then Raven has no follow-up anyway, yeah. So duels can only kill Leon. Yeah, Moondoggy, I would not be surprised at all if ProudRaven is running a full DPS suicide build Oboro. Look at this box. Oof. And Azusa with that healing from, was it Mimir's? I don't think that spike damage at the end would have killed her anyway. But yeah, having that Rosen Seal there basically erases that progress. So now you have a D-Heart with no skills, you have a Duels who can't ignore guard. Freya still has both her lives, and a Rosen Seal. Now is the time for Azusa to kill D-Heart, get her shield back to full health, and this one's gonna go to WindSeeker as well. Okay, so the way this works now for a best of 5 is that I believe they'll queue into another best of 3, and then ProudRaven, having just lost that, will retreat from game 1. So if we bring this back up, if they've already started it, they may be asking in TSdL or referencing TSdL for exactly how to do this. Alright, so ProudRaven has already retreated from the first game of this. That means WindSeeker is up 2-1. WindSeeker only needs to win this game to take the Summit der Langrisser Season 12 Championship and the 300 crisp American dollars that go along with it. ProudRaven, a little bit behind, needs to win 2 games. His life is on the line, so it needs to be the next 2 games. There's no more wiggle room. He is player 1 on Windy Outpost, though. Now let's see if either player is going to make any changes from the side box. Whoa. That answers that question. The answer is yes. There are going to be changes from the side box. So, ProudRaven dropping a bunch of these units. Some of them he had already dropped, and they got kind of undropped when we started Game 2. But he has brought Oboro back up. He's also brought up a bunch of tanks, so it looks like he's going to try to play a little bit more of a traditional this season meta game. So he's got like 3 tanks, 1 healer. And instead of banning WindSeeker's AO, he's banning the Rosen. WindSeeker goes ahead and bans out a tank first. So this is basically calling a bluff, really. It makes it so if Raven didn't pick a tank, he could ban out his tanks. Or if he didn't pick a healer, he could ban out his tanks. Raven's just going with a nice DPS to open with anyway. On this map, this is a Leon map, so he's able to reach. And WindSeeker is going to finally get the chance to field his AO, since he's not being forced into a Rosen and Freya comp for the first time. But Leon should be able to spring on turn 1 before AO has the chance to slow him down with her chains. And interesting, picking this Rosenseal here basically baits WindSeeker into banning the rest of ProudRaven's tanks. I don't know if ProudRaven really had any intention of picking those tanks here. Maybe he would have if they were up, but I think knowing Raven's playstyle, he'll be happy to go with DPS for the rest of this pick and ban. And WindSeeker fielding the Watham. We don't see him too much these days. With that one tank ban, that's going to force WindSeeker to choose a tank if he wants to play a tank at all. So if he wants to get a tank, this is the turn that he has to do it, at least in his mind. ProudRaven may not follow this gambit up with a double tank ban, but at least that puts the option on the table. So if WindSeeker doesn't pick a tank, he could lose them. In these longer series, like a best of 5, it kind of adds like, I don't know if you'd call it momentum or something like that to like the metagame of the matches, because WindSeeker has been used to playing Rosen and Freya for the last 3 games. So playing a different box after 3 games of that, it may feel different for him. So ProudRaven is going to go ahead and ban out those tanks. That's fine though, it looks like WindSeeker is going to be happy playing a trade comp with these units. So with Grenshiel out, we do have a faction buffer for the Toa. Okay, she's off the board. Just something to consider for WindSeeker. We don't have a buffer for this Oboro. So if he were going to transform, it would be slowly. I will fully expect to see Wandering Duelist come out for Raven here. She's a better pick for a straight trade comp, and that's probably what's going to be happening with both players front-loading on DPS here right now. So this should be easy pick Duelist for ProudRaven. Holly can create tiles to help clean up after Leon and also help units like Gintoki get into the action a bit more quickly. Okay, so Gintoki's off the table as well. No buffer for Azusa. Brings her out anyway. Azusa has been pretty good for WindSeeker. And now we will be very patient little viewers while ProudRaven and WindSeeker select their troops and positioning. Very carefully select their positioning. Okay. Here we've got our frontline Leon. Probably this polyol brought her guard skill. That's why everyone's in a T formation around her. Yeah, knowing that Leon would be coming in here. Even with Phalanx, I don't think Leon really needs to worry about getting counter-killed by a poly. She is not the tank that Freya is. But it does mean Leon can't just rush in and kill whoever he wants. ProudRaven takes the opportunity of first turn to splash out some immunity on his team anyway. Probably a better first move because it prevents AO from ever locking anyone down. So when the time is right, he'll be able to spring into action. Oh, and he brought his own guard skill on Grenshiel. Purely physical guard, but that's at least good to buy yourself a turn from, like, Watham or Elwyn. Nope. AoE would have been a decent choice, as there's no healer on WindSeeker's side for the first time. Okay, bumping Elwyn up to the front lines. Elwyn could kill the Grenshiel, taking out ProudRaven's tank. But then that Elwyn is as good as dead. But that's how trade games go, so we'll see if WindSeeker wants to initiate the proceedings, and then how the dominoes begin to fall. Duel's definitely not doing anything this turn. Unless Raven were to get a very interesting shuffle with Leon, which is not happening right now. Leon stands in place. (2-1 for WindSeeker, with the back-to-back wins after dropping Game 1. Now we're seeing what he's made of for the first time without a tank and a Rosen. I mean, I guess he has a tank, but not a tank, you know what I mean? Okay, so he is going to go in with Elwyn. This should be a dead Grenshiel. She's not shielded, so that makes easy kill. which means no more physical guard. Defender of the People procs. I don't think that Defender made the difference there. It looks like Elwyn was surviving anyway. He would have been hurt-er. But we still have a live Elwyn, and he still has his bonus life left. Okay, so Watham is coming in here as predicted. He can still reach. This should be a dead duelist. Oh, Watham gets the clock there too. Back to 100% health. Duels is on her last life. Sadly, no one will be portaling because the Alhazard is blocking the portal. I mean, I guess you can portal up and come out adjacent to it, but you can't use it to portal back. Not till that sword's dead or moved. Okay, ProudRaven opting to take out this Elwyn before it can have the opportunity to run around and heal itself. So that's Elwyn down, it's hurt Watham, moved back behind the line. Yeah, Bob, it's possible to displace the sword. Not for Raven, really. He doesn't really have any units who do that. I mean, I guess he could have there with Leon. So again, we're in a situation where WindSeeker is up. Watham's still alive. Still got his big chonkin attack. Azusa, AO, slowly moving in as well. Alright, Duel's taking that Watham down. We're seeing, you know, one-for-one trading, pretty much what we expected from the pick and ban. These guys are slowly getting their health chunked away, though, by those Wandering Duelist chains. Azusa potentially getting herself into a position where she can be killed even through her shield. Polyol is going to want to jump soon. ProudRaven trying to spread out, knowing that that poly jump is coming. Raven does not need to worry about getting poly stunned in the fog, thanks to Rosenseal. Rosenseal just makes it so you need to worry so much less. So Duel's first life is gone, but she's back up to 100%, so that's fine. Her skills are down right now. Leon's skills also down for a couple turns, so ProudRaven really doesn't have too much offensively in the tank right now. WindSeeker still has to get in, though. I mean, he can get in with Polyol right now if he wants to. And that will at least speed up Azusa's advance. Okay, he's not going to spring quite yet. Not afraid to move up on this terrain here, knowing that there are no skills coming out this turn. So as far as the trade goes, for example, right now, if Leon or Duels were to auto-attack into this, kill Polyol's first life, she has a revive, and then you finish off the Brenda or the Leon with AO. Or Azusa. Probably AO. And then you've just got like 1 DPS left against a fine AO Azusa and 1 life of a Polyol. So Raven is going to really need to be really strategic here and try to get his skills back. Oh! Wandering Duelist just eats those meteors. She was fully dead by like the 3rd meteor. Okay. So it's just Leon left. And ProudRaven is on the verge of going down 3-1. Actually, that would be it. He's on the verge of going down, period. ProudRaven trying to hang on, hoping that Leon can win this whole game for him. Leon has no skills. Drops the AO. Doesn't really matter. Her clone's going to be coming back next turn. Raven does have turn priority, but again, he has no skills even at the start of next turn. Nothing. And this clone will be back. So even if WindSeeker weren't able to finish him off here, which he does, next turn would be grim for ProudRaven. And WindSeeker pretty much eliminated me from the playoffs. I think it was last season or the season before. I think it was last season. So I can look back on that moment with slightly less regret. Making a honorable play, suiciding the Rosen in the fog, and WindSeeker becomes the Season 12 Summit der Langrisser champion, going up 3-0 on ProudRaven after losing the first game. So that's actually 3 consecutive wins to come back and win this championship. That is a big virtual trophy and 300 crisp American dollars, or virtual American dollars at the very least. ProudRaven, though, as the runner-up, does not walk away empty-handed. Second place pays $150. So, GG's to both players for some very interesting and very entertaining matches. This was a really good final because we got to see a lot of different stuff. ProudRaven brought out a few different interesting DPS units. We got to see Wandering Duelist actually be really good and also be a little bit not so good. And we got to see WindSeeker play Freya Box basically 3 games in a row. So yeah, really good showing to both players. So thank you both for coming out and bringing your A game. Congrats to both for making it this far in the tournament. And thanks to everyone in the chat for coming out and supporting your favorite players and supporting my stream as well. So that's it for Summit der Langrisser for this season. I don't know what Straw's plans are or what the rest of the Summit organizer people's plans are for next season. Whatever they are, they'll have to wait until after the Apex playoffs, because we are going to be starting playoffs basically in 2 days. So I'm probably going to get eliminated in the first weekend. I've got Doberman swimming lessons on Saturday, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make it home in time to face off against the seeded player in my group, Hale. But if I do, Maybe I'll stay in for a day. Maybe. But then after that, I'll be streaming a bunch of playoff games as well. So stick around, subscribe to the channel on Twitch if you haven't already, to be notified when I go live and start streaming all the rest of the Apex Arena Season 14 games. Drop me a like on YouTube over on the YouTube side, and I will see you in the next stream. Thanks for coming out, everyone.